Hi everyone, this is Mr. Siu from Math Accelerator. Welcome to P3 SA2 Mini Revision Lesson 5. Today we're going to cover the topic on time, and we will look into how we can use timeline. Okay, number one, how to work forward to get the answer, and number two, how do we work backwards to get the answer. Okay, let's go to question 1. Okay, question 1 is time and conversion. Let me read the question. Mark and George starting doing their homework at 4:30 p.m. Mark took 1 hour 25 minutes to complete his homework. George took 40 minutes faster than Mark to complete his homework. What time did George complete his homework? So let's underline some of the keywords in the question. So the first thing we underline will be 4:30. That's the starting time when both of them start doing their homework. Next, Mark took 1 hour 25 minutes to complete his work. And we also know that George took 40 minutes faster than Mark to complete his homework. So we need to find out at what time did George complete his homework. Okay, after underlining, so now let's go through the steps that we need to take. So firstly, we know that Mark took 1 hour 25 minutes. So we write here Mark, letter M. He took 1 hour and 25 minutes. And we were told that George took 40 minutes faster. So we need to find out how long did George take to complete his homework. So 40 minutes. So before we can find the difference between the time duration for Mark and George, we need to do some conversion. Okay, we know that 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. So we convert this into 60 minutes. Then we add to the current 25 minutes. And we will get 85 minutes. So now we can calculate how long did George take to complete. 40 minutes faster means we have to subtract 40 from 85. So 85 minus 40. Let's work out at the side. And we arrive at 45 minutes. So now we will draw a timeline to help us find what time did George complete his homework. Their starting time is 4:30. So George took 45 minutes to complete his homework. So we know that the nearest hour mark is over here, there's 5 p.m. From 4:30 to 5 p.m., this portion will be 30 minutes. So 45 minus 30, we need another 15 minutes. So here will be the end time. So 15 minutes after 5 o'clock will be 5:15. So the answer for this question is 5:15 p.m. So that's the time that George completed his homework. So as you can see in this question, it involved conversion. We need to know that 1 hour is 60 minutes, and we need to be able to convert 1 hour 25 minutes into 85 minutes using this method. After that, we know that George is 40 minutes faster. Please take note, when you're faster, you have a shorter time duration compared to the person before you, right? In this case, it will be 40 minutes less than the 85 minutes that Mark took to complete his homework. Okay, so for 85 minus 40, we will get 45. So then we use a timeline to help us understand. So my strategy is I'll break down 45. I will always look for the nearest hour mark. In this case, the nearest hour mark to 4:30 is 5 p.m. So from 4:30 to 5 p.m. is 30 minutes. So 45 minus 30, we have 15 minutes remaining. So we write here 15 minutes, and from here, 15 minutes after 5 p.m. will be 5:15. So this is time and conversion. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, the next question, we're using timeline and we will be working forward. Sarah left her home for the library at 15:40. She took 15 minutes to walk to the bus stop. She waited for 25 minutes for the bus. Using a timeline to help you find your answers, what time did the bus arrive at the bus stop? And number 2, or part B, Sarah reached the library at 16:45. She left the library at 18:30. How long was Sarah at the library? Right, let's underline some of the keywords in this question. Firstly, Sarah left her home at 15:40, right? Left her home. She took 15 minutes to walk to the bus stop, and she waited for 25 minutes. So with this information, we need to find out at what time did the bus arrive. So we have to combine the time that she take to walk to the bus stop and the waiting time she take at the bus stop before the bus actually arrived. Right, so part A, we should be adding 15 minutes her walking time with her waiting time of 25 minutes. Let's do our working over here. 15 plus 25. 5 plus 5, 10, carry 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So we will arrive at 40 minutes. So now, let's construct our timeline. Okay, we're given the starting time. Starting time is 15:40. So we write here 15:40. So we need to draw, extend out, and find out 40. What's the time 40 minutes later? So the nearest hour mark is 1600. So between 15:40 and 1600 is 20 minutes. (40 minus 20), we need another 20 minutes. And 20 minutes after 1600 will be 1620. So we know that the bus arrived at 1620, right? 1620. Part B. Sarah reached the library at 16:45. She left the library at 18:30. How long was Sarah at the library? So part B. Alright, we have the time she entered the library and the time that she left the library. So we'll construct another timeline over here. The starting time, 16:45. The ending time is 18:30, right? So from here, 1 hour after 16:45 is 17:45. Okay, that is 1 hour. From here, we look for the nearest hour mark, which is 1800. 17:45 to 1800, this portion is 15 minutes. 1800 to 1830 is 30 minutes. So we have to add 15 to 30. So 15 plus 30, that will give us 45. So we know that for part B, how long did Sarah at the library? So it will be 1 hour and 45 minutes. All right, so that's the answer for part B, right? This is part A, and this is part B. Right, so in this question, we use working forward to reach for our answers because we are given the starting time. So this is 15:40 is the starting time that she left her home for the bus stop. So we have a starting time here, so we are able to work forward to get the answer and calculate at what time did the bus arrive at the bus stop. Part B, we also were given the starting time when she reached the library. All right, she reached the library at 16:45, and we also given the end time. So from here we can work out. So it's always easier to work with round numbers or whole numbers. In this case, the nearest hour, right? 1 hour after 16:45 is 17:45. So from here, then you look for your nearest hour mark. 17:45, the nearest hour mark is 1800. So from here, this between 17:45 and 1800 is 15 minutes. 1800 to 1830, the time that she left the library is 30 minutes. 15 plus 30, we calculated to be 45. So the whole duration that she spent in the library will be 1 hour and 45 minutes. Next. In this question, we will be using the timeline, but we will be working backwards to reach for our answers. Simon finished painting his living room and bedroom at 19:30. He took 2 hours 15 minutes to paint his living room and 40 minutes less to paint the bedroom. He did not take a break in between painting the two rooms. At what time did he start painting? Okay, firstly, we have to do some comparison. So let's underline some of the keywords. This is the end time. Simon finished painting the bedroom at 19:30. So this is the end time. And the next information is he took 2 hours 15 minutes to paint the living room. 40 minutes less to paint the bedroom. Okay, let's indicate living room with LR as the short form. So the living room is 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we will be converting this time duration into minutes. We know that 1 hour will give us 60 minutes. Therefore, 2 hours, we will get 60 times 2. That will give you 120 minutes. So over here will be 120 minutes plus 15 minutes. We will arrive at 135 minutes. So that's the time in minutes that Simon took to paint the living room. So now we're going to calculate the bedroom. We will use BR to represent the bedroom. We know that he took 40 minutes less. 40 minutes less means we must do a subtraction. So we take 135 minus 40. So 135 minus 40. 5 minus 0 will give you 5. 13, 3 cannot minus 4, so we regroup to give you 13. So 13 minus 4 will give us 9. So over here will be 95 minutes. So next we'll add the two timings together to find out how long Simon will take to finish painting both the living room and the bedroom. So we will take 135 plus 95. 5 plus 5 is 0, carry 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. Carry 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So in total, he spent 230 minutes to paint both rooms. So next, we have to convert 230 minutes back into hours and minutes. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, so we know that 1 hour is, okay, let's write over here again. Okay, let's try 1 hour is 60 minutes. So we're going to do the multiples of 60 over here. So 2 hours will give you 120 minutes as stated earlier. And 3 hours, we will take 180 minutes. We will work until this number just exceed 230. So 4 hours will give us 240 minutes. So at this time, we already exceeded. So 240 is more than 230. So we will take the earlier timing. So it will be 3 hours. So we will have 180. So this one will give you 380 minutes. So next we have to find out after we subtract 180 from 230. So it's 230 minus 180. 0 minus 0 is 0. 3 cannot minus 8. We borrow from 2. So become 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So arrive at 50. So it should be 180 minutes plus 50 minutes. Okay, based on our working here, we know that 3 hours is equals to 180 minutes. So we write here 3 hours, 50 minutes. So now that we know he took 3 hours and 50 minutes to paint both rooms, now the final step is to construct the timeline, and we need to work backwards to reach for our answers. The end time is 1930. 3 hours and 50 minutes. So here we work backwards for 3 hours first. 19 minus 3 is 16, so here will be 1630. So next, 15 minutes, we look for the nearest hour mark, which is 1600. Between 1600 and 1630 is 30 minutes. (50 minutes minus 30 is 20, so here will be 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes before will be 15:40. Right, so we know that Simon starting time for painting both rooms will be 15:40. Let's write over here the answers. 15:40 is the answer. Right, that is the time he start painting the both rooms. So as you can see, this question is require multiple steps to reach for the answers. Okay, let's break down what did we do just now. Okay, first of all, we converted the time that he took to paint the living room into minutes. So 2 hours 15 minutes after conversion, it becomes 1 hour and 35 minutes. Then we calculated the time he took to complete the bedroom. So 135 minus 40, we arrive at 95 minutes. So then we combine these two together, and we got 230 minutes. From here, we convert back into hours and minutes. So it will get us 3 hours and 15 minutes. Last step, we draw our timeline, and we work backwards. Starting from 1930, first we work backwards 3 hours to get 1630, then we move backwards again for 50 minutes and we arrive at 1540. Right, so this is how we use timeline and working backwards, okay, to solve a question like this. Alright, so that's the end of today's lesson. We hope that you have learned something from this lesson. As usual, remember to practice to gain confidence and mastery. Thank you everyone, and all the best to your exam.